Hello my young friends. Study with Sudhir stands for two aspects. One of course is quality, trust and accurate information on anything that concerns you students, especially examinations. The other is about the element of positivity, because I want all my young friends out here not to be weak, petty-minded individuals. I want you to have a large heart, bade dil wale insan bano, so that you can actually look at everyone with a big heart and be helpful to everyone you meet in your life ahead, right? So for that, it's very important that you embrace the quality of reading, and I'll tell you exactly why it is important to read books in your life and not just study books, not just academic books. Now this video is very close to my heart and I've been wanting to make this for a long time, and I'm glad that there are at least some students out here who also share my passion for reading, because I do believe that reading really makes you a well-rounded personality, apart from it having immediate advantages for you in your examination, especially the English language and literature examination. I love recommending books. There are some of you who do not like that waste of time and they immediately say this video starts at 2 minutes 15 seconds. But there are some who appreciate that, and this is specifically for those students. But I would really urge everyone to start reading books as a habit. There is really nothing better than making a book your best friend. Okay. And I would like all these young citizens, as I like to refer to all the subscribers out here at Study with Sudhir, to really start reading and develop reading as a hobby, as a habit. Now, before I go on to explain why it is important to read and how it can help you both academically right now and professionally later on in life, let me, on request from a few student subscribers, recommend to you 5 books written by my favorite author RK Narayan, right? 5 of what I think are must-read novels, right? Because they are a slice of life. They're a slice of life of India. They help you understand India. They help you understand human nature that much more. And I really believe RK Narayan was an absolute master at writing those kind of stories. So I'm going to tell you 5 stories. I'm going to put the links in the description box. But I would urge, I know you cannot read all 5 of them right now when we are already slowly getting into November, but I would urge you over the next 3 to 4 months, order the books now, because they will inspire you to read at least 2 of these 5 books. Okay, so I quickly tell you these 5 of my favorite RK Narayan novels. The first is The Financial Expert. Now, I have my copy out here, right? I hope you can see my copy out here. I bought this in 1989 and even the date is mentioned out here. I hope you can see it clearly. 2nd of June 1989. I actually bought this when I was traveling by train from Delhi to Kerala. So over the long 40 to 48 hour long journey, I read this novel. I really enjoyed it. So I have always been in love with the characters from The Financial Expert. It's one of my favorite RK Narayan novels. So this is something which I would strongly recommend to you. In fact, I was just looking at the price. I had bought it for 17 rupees at that time in 1989. The second one, of course, is the classic Swami and Friends. You would have seen, some of you may have seen Malgudi Days, the TV serial which was made. But Swami and Friends, again something which you could relate to because it's also about a little boy, right? Third one is Mr. Sampat, the Printer of Malgudi. Again, something very, very intricate kind of story. I had this book, both Swami and Friends and the Printer of Malgudi. I think they are lying with my sister in Mumbai. The Man-Eater of Malgudi is another novel which I would strongly recommend. And the last one, The Painter of Science. Okay, these two again, very interesting novels with a very interesting plot. All of them are set in that imaginative town of Malgudi, which is somewhere in Karnataka, rural Karnataka, in the southern part of Karnataka. And on one of the student subscriber Harshal's request, I have provided the links on Amazon for those of you interested in buying the books, ordering the books. Now, why do I keep recommending books? Because in this world where videos are consumed much more, I do believe that we are not reading enough. And not reading enough, I think, is not a very great thing. It's not something to be proud of, right? In fact, I myself would love to read much more than I can actually do right now. And I have listed out here 8 reasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6 reasons, 7, 8, 8 reasons why I think you should definitely make reading a habit. Okay, so let me go through each of the points one by one, and I do hope you will agree with what I am saying. Number one, it essentially transports you into a different world, right? That's what happens. And if you are going to attempt the descriptive or the narrative or the original story kind of a question in your examination, and this is specifically for ICSE and ISE, but even applies for the CBSE kind of students, this would really help you, because the more you read, you will have a comfort level in how to actually describe a particular event, or to write an original story, or you see a photograph, your mind will be able to, their mind will get tuned to how to kind of write a story around a photograph. You will get much more creative, you will get much more imaginative. So this, I think, is a direct benefit. If you read over the next 4 months, read some of these novels which I keep suggesting to you in many of my videos, including these ones by RK Narayan. I suggested some by Jeffrey Archer the other day, or by Ravi Subramaniam, who writes a lot of suspense and thrillers. Please look at this immediate advantage that will happen to you in the month of February and March. So this is a big advantage that should motivate you to actually start reading English novels, even non-fiction for that matter. Any kind of reading is what I would really suggest. Quality reading. Quality reading. And reading quora does not mean reading. Okay, let me point that out. A few students had last week asked me how to improve on grammar and how to improve on vocabulary. And quite a few comments I had got. This is the way you improve your vocabulary without investing much in it. If you keep seeing a dictionary and say that, okay, मैं इसमें से आज every day 2 words new सीखूंगा, नहीं होता है. But when you actually keep reading it as part of a book, as part of a novel, or as part of a biography of a great person, all that becomes part of your vocabulary. If you do not understand a word, just refer to a dictionary so that you know what it means. Okay, so the next time you will be comfortable. But this is a sure short way to improve your vocabulary, also to unconsciously correct your grammar all the time, right? That's again something very, very important, because you will start owning these words and you will start using those words in your writing, whether it's writing in your textbook, in your notes, or it's in the manner of your speaking with your friends and family members. It will all become part of your vocabulary. You will start owning those words. Very, very important. This is, I find, very important in today's world where everyone says they are in stress. There are some people who, which I think is a little irresponsible to say, I'm in depression. Now, depression is a major disease, so do not use the word in an irresponsible manner. But definitely when you're reading a book, it has a very calming effect on you, because you are there transported into another world reading a book written by a quality author. So I really feel it helps fight stress. This is in sharp contrast to how you are on social media. You see someone's WhatsApp message, you get agitated. You see someone's Instagram post, you get envious. You see someone's Facebook post, you think, "Arey, why am I not doing the same thing?" Whereas a book, and whereas if you're on YouTube, you keep jumping from one video to another, right? A book makes you stay with you. It helps you stay with the book, with the particular story that is being told, and in that sense you kind of travel a journey together with the author, right? And trust me, it's a very nice feeling to be led into another world by a quality author who is actually using his words, no visuals, but using his words to help you create your own visuals in your head, in your mind. And I think if you have a book as your friend, you do not need anyone else. Trust me, you don't need anyone else. So make it a habit to read at least for a half an hour or 45 minutes every day before you call it a day, right? Books are a great conversation point, which is why they help you professionally, right? Later on in life, you know, if you meet a stranger and you don't know what to do, or you meet someone you haven't spoken to before, they become a good starting point for a conversation. You are carrying a book. That person may say, "Oh, I have also read this book." The two of you may start talking about RK Narayan, and then you may find many common interests, and that's how a good quality conversation is struck. And this will help you not now. You will not realize the difference it can make now, you will realize it 10 years later when you are working in an organization, 20 years later when you are moving up the ladder, about how a well-read person is always respected more, is always regarded more than someone who just does not read and only sees the idiot box all the time, right? So this is not a short-term project, this is a long-term project, right? The fifth point that I want to point out is it helps you in better focus, and this is something which if you are a class 9 or a class 10 student, class 11 and 12 and later on in college, higher education will need you to kind of focus for longer hours, better concentration. So if you are used to staying with the book without interruption for half an hour, 1 hour, it will automatically help you also focus when you are doing the academic stuff. The more intricate, the more tough and sometimes more tedious academic stuff will come naturally to you because your focus, without you realizing it, without you actually working on it, without you doing any meditation, will actually help you do better focus because you would have been used to being focused on a particular pages. You would be used to that by then. So this is something again which will be used to you in the medium term. So I'm telling you short-term advantages, long-term advantages, medium-term advantages. What more can you get from just developing a habit of reading books? Sixth point, memory power. How does it help in memory power? Because a lot of you complain that you're not able to remember what you read today. By 2 days later, when you try to test yourself, you have completely forgotten. A novel essentially has a lot of plots and subplots, right? So if you are able to remember that, you would be able to do the same with your academic material also. So gradually what happens is that you keep remembering, you remember this kind of stuff, you would be able to, your mind also works in its own manner. The mind also gets used to what it is being fed to it. So if material is being fed to it and the mind works on remembering it, it will gradually make that also part of its habit, right? So you are actually developing a habit for your mind also, right? Now the seventh point is inspires you. Now there will be characters, especially if you're reading biographies of great men and women, they may actually inspire you to do something special in your life. And if you never read all that, you would be completely oblivious. Or if you read some summaries, that will never have the same kind of effect as reading a proper biography or a proper work about the life and times of a great person. You are at that age of your life where you need to get inspired by what great men and women have done before you. So that is something very important. The last point, better writing, and this is not related to writing in exam, but this is related to later on in your professional life. If your vocabulary and expression skills are that much better, they will obviously help you move up the ladder faster than someone else of the same age with the same kind of academic qualifications, because many of you will go into IITs, NITs, medical colleges, some of you may become chartered accountants, some of you may become lawyers. For each one of you, it's important to have communication skills, good communication skills. What distinguishes a good lawyer from a bad lawyer? Both of them would have done their LLB, their law degrees, everything fine. But how you express yourself in court, with a better language skills, with a sense of humor that will also develop as a result of reading. If you can quote, suddenly in a quote, you can quote from a great man, from George Bernard Shaw, in order to substantiate and buttress your point, you will have a better chance of scoring a legal point, winning the case also, if you are a well-read person rather than someone who has not read anything apart from his LLB books. So my suggestion to you would be, start investing in reading, start investing in novels, start investing in quality writers. It will be worth your time, it will be worth your investment, both short term, medium term and long term, right? So I do hope this video would make a difference and at least some more of you will turn a new leaf and decide to start learning, reading and embracing the absolutely wonderful world of books. Thank you very much for watching.